My 6-year-old purposefully spilled crumbs all over the back of our SUV the other day, and this is why I was legitimately not bothered by it and how I disciplined that as a respectful parent. I see so many people make discipline so complicated, and your life as a mom becomes way easier when you realize how simple disciplining actually gets to be. Boundaries and consequences don't have to be this really complicated thing. We were sitting in the car. She had her little snack in the back that had some crumbs left in it. I turned around and I saw her dumping it out, right? Like in the middle of the seat. We were parked, so she wasn't buckled. Just like straight up dumping it on the ground. And I was like, oh, what are you doing? And she made this instantly guilty face, this little like, oops, mom caught me face. And I said, oh, it looks like you put your crumbs on the ground. When we get home, you can be in charge of vacuuming those up. Okay? That's the consequence. That's all. Now, next time, I probably know, hey, I'm not going to give her like crackers in the car. She maybe lost that privilege for a while until I trust that she can be responsible for her environment. We can totally talk about that. But the consequence and the discipline doesn't need to be like, you're not watching TV tonight. You're going to timeout when we get home. Why are you so bad? Why would you do that? You know that's not okay in our car. What are you thinking? You're 6. Like, all of that is unnecessary and it's harmful and it's not going to get you anywhere. The consequence was simply you take responsibility for your actions. And I want to say too, I told her this and she was like, no, I'm not vacuuming. And I was like, okay. Right? I'm not going to get pulled into her drama. As the parent, you're the calm, confident leader. You don't need to get pulled into their drama and their emotions. She was frustrated because she didn't want to have to vacuum, but that's okay. She's allowed to be frustrated, right? As I always say, they get to have the emotions. You get to hold the boundaries. So we got home. Everybody had a snack. We got settled. The boys went down for their naps and quiet time. And I was like, hey, let's go vacuum the car. And she was like, okay, mom. So I helped her carry the vacuum out. I handed it to her. I plugged it in. She vacuumed the whole car. Okay? It was perfectly fine. It took us 5 minutes. And then we walked back inside and I was like, thank you for taking responsibility for that mess you made. That's really important in our family. And then we moved on. That's all it needs to be, you guys. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. It doesn't have to be anything else other than that. It's about being a respectful parent. This is what it is. It's still disciplining. It's still having consequences and holding boundaries, having limits. Obviously, our little kids need that, but it's doing it with warmth. It's doing it with empathy. It's doing it with love and not shame or fear or judgment or this really like intense angry energy, because none of that is helpful. Tell me below if you want more videos or a series on consequences and discipline in a way that's really simple and that works.